buckets and boards. Let's get right into it. Breaking news, man. Shannon Sharpe is officially leaving Undisputed after the NBA Finals. I think it was a long time coming. That relationship with him and Skip has been kind of fractured. If you go back to the beginning of the year, you remember the DeMar Hamlin situation when the Buffalo Bills were in the playoffs. You know, we basically saw that kid die on the field, and they had to bring him back. And Skip Bayless made a very, very insensitive comment, a tweet, and Shannon Sharpe he didn't like it at all. So the following day of Undisputed, he just was a no-show. He didn't come back to the set at all. He just didn't really appreciate Skip being just such a a-hole like that, just to tweet out something like that, being that insensitive with the kid and his family listening. And so Shannon just had enough of this guy, man. And then you fast forward a couple months later, or I forgot the exact time, they had the big blow up about Tom Brady, him and Skip barking at each other, on live TV. And it probably did well for ratings, but Skip is that type of personality that eventually you're going to clash with him. He's just a total narcissist, and he has to control every situation in terms of that show. I believe Shannon doesn't have any input in terms of topics, in terms of guests, nothing. He's just a do-boy. Do whatever I say, sit here and just mind whatever I want you to mind. And I think it got to a point where Shannon just is kind of fed up with Skip. So from my understanding, Shannon bought himself out of this contract, and it'll be finished at the end of the NBA Finals this year. I expect this show to actually tank, because Shannon was really, really good, with this show. He brought in a lot of the hip hop guys like Snoop, a lot of the, that generation, of viewers to the show. And whoever Skip hires next, he's so controlling that he's going to have that next person in the same situation to where he's trying to control everything, doesn't want them to give any input on any situation in terms of guests and topics or anything. So you just basically have to sit on that show as a co-host and just mind anything Skip says. And I think Shannon got to a point where he's just tired of it. It's time for him to move on. And from my understanding, that they're going to get rid of Shay Shay's, Club Shay Shay, his podcast. But what I'm hearing is he's going to continue to do the podcast. So what that lets me know is Shannon Sharpe owns the rights to Club Shay Shay. And hats off to him, because that podcast alone is going to be a juggernaut. He brings on good guests. It does great numbers. And if he controls all the rights to that, he can add merch, he can add sponsorship deals, he can bring on co-hosts at times, and he could just blow that thing up to where he don't even need a job again. But I do believe Shannon Sharpe will get another job. I don't know if it'll be with ESPN, but some other show is going to pick him up. He's pretty good. I like his take. He's informative. He knows what he's talking about in terms of sports. And I just think he's good. And you're going to see Undisputed suffer. And eventually it'll be canceled. And then the laughing stock will be Skip Bayless. These guys will sit back and laugh at him. Because Stephen A is locked in at ESPN. He's still doing his thing. Skip left him holding the bag over there and came over to Fox. But eventually, karma's going to come back around and kick Skip Bayless in the butt as well. And you will see Undisputed go in the tank after this situation. That's just my prediction. Skip is just hard to deal with. His take on certain NBA players, his biases on LeBron and other players. He's just hard to deal with, man. And as I said before, I just think Shannon Sharpe is tired and he's ready to move on. And man, hats off to him, man. You know, I got a feeling that Skip tried to force him out of this situation. But he eventually ended up buying himself out the contract. And, so it was eventually going to come to this anyway. So yeah, let's just see what happens going forward. I expect Shannon Sharpe to bounce back and land on his feet. I expect the ratings to start to tank in terms of Undisputed. And yeah, man. So yeah, I just wanted to come to you guys with a quick video. What do you think about it? Leave your thoughts in the comment section. Do you think Undisputed will eventually start to tank? Do you believe Skip Bayless actually was trying to force Shannon out? Or do you believe this was totally on Shannon? He just want to get the heck away from Skip Bayless. But that's all I really have on this take. Buckets and boards. I'm Passport T. I see you guys on the next one. Peace.